Hello and welcome back to Stationeers. I'm Mick. Today we're going to be having a look at the new update, the deep drill heavy mining chutes and stuff. The latest update they've had. So it's noisy now, so let's just go have a look at it. The obvious ones we've got this noisy crap here. Look at this. Look at the drills. You got a deep drill. Now these are a stationary drill. They sort of they're noisy. They are there to replace the well, not replacing. They're just another thing you can have there to just give you continuous mining. It's on the spot. It's not like the old vertical miners that would just go down and miss all the ore and then you'd have to pull them apart and do them. These ones just continuously mine. You put them down and they will just produce an infinite mining output. Now they don't put out minerals. They actually just put out these things here, the dirty ore. So that's a new rock we've got, and that one then has to be processed through a centrifuge to actually produce into ore. We also got a reskin on the reagent mix. This one's sort of pretty cool too. When all the other rocks got all their reskins there, the poor old reagent mix got neglected, but now it's got one. You can tell that's not a rock, it's got a heap of crap in there. It's like a turd with a peanut in it. That's pretty cool. Hey. Anyway, the rocks come out and you've got to process them in a centrifuge. Now the old centrifuge has had a bit of a facelift as well, because that one, once again, well, obviously it's got the handle on it to open it. Before you just chuck stuff in and it went away and did its thing. Now you can tell it's actually got speed on it. So these electric ones, they have been reworked, and they will turn the dirty stone, dirty ore, into actual proper stone thingies that are useful. Now these ones have had a bit of a rebalance. They've had a change. They now are pretty slow. The old one used to spit out stuff as quick as you like. Now they're really slow, and when you actually switch it off, you notice it's got an RPM speed on it. So it actually sort of slows down when you switch it off and speeds up again when you switch it on. The slower it is, the slower it processes stuff. These are your basic electric ones here, and as I say, they're not very fast. So we've got one of these drills, and I'm needing three of these things to keep up with it. Now the drills will produce different amounts of ore depending on where you are. I'm on Luland at the moment, so the drills are supposed to produce output. This stuff depending on the ore densities on where you are, so it may vary from world to world. I imagine on Venus or Vulcan, where there's a lot of ores, it'll be churning out a crap load of stuff. But these are glorious little drills. Look at them. Do you move all the bits and pieces? Look at this little gear wheels down the back. That is so cool. I mean, at risk of sounding too much like a nerdy engineer, that's a nice bevel gear. Look at that. Kind of makes you want to put your fingers in there and see if you can get in there and... Oh, no, wait, it's got a warning sign on it. Whoa, that was lucky. The sign always protects everyone. But that's the drill. It puts out that one there, and there's three of these things to keep up with it. But these are just the electric ones there. So to catch up with them, these ones have been nerfed, but we have been given a thing to do it. So you can spam a heap of them there. So there's one of them, and I'm needing three of these things to keep up with it. Now, you can just spam a heap of these things in, but if you want to spam a heap of stuff there, go play Factorio or something like that. This is Stationeers. If you can't spam stuff, you've got to just apply brute force. And that's where we're given this noisy little bugger here. Now this one is a gas-powered centrifuge. Now these ones are running at 100 RPM. This one is running on 524 RPM. Now these things are actually gas-powered. So I do have the fuel line running in, exhaust coming out. And on the site you've got your controls on it there to speed it up. It takes a little bit to get it going, and it can be a bit tricky. But once again, this one here at 500, you'll see this one is chewing through the items a lot quicker than the other ones. There's one, 2, 3 items going through there, and this one's just 8%, 11, 13%, 19. It's very slow. So yeah, you do need a tier 2 printer to get these ones going there, so it's not going to be something you put down on your first day. Same with the drills. But this one here, I have the one centrifuge, and it is keeping up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, it'll vary depending on what planet you're on. I've got 5 of the deep drills here. It's kind of getting overwhelmed by 5. You could keep up with 4, but 5 is kind of getting a bit much for it. Yeah, it's clogged up quite nicely now. But of course, if that's not going for you, you can spam another one, or you can just apply the old brute force rule, because if our brute force isn't working for you, then you're probably just not using enough of it. That's where we go to nitrous. And of course our new fuel nitrous there, we can just run a bit more out into it. Now this one is running at 1188 RPM. And that one can keep up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drills. And that one is churning out a lot of materials. Now, as we can see in there, it's been running for a little while there, but it's got over 1500 iron in there, and it's chugging through them all pretty quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this one is a bit of a bugger to get started, so you can do it. I can once went to the mainstream there. I can actually control it now without having a chip. The first versions of it, I had to have a chip to actually start it for me. It took a couple of minutes to get started, but it's a bit easier to use now. Once again, the hydrogen one is a lot easier. The oxygen powered one is a lot easier than to start from the nitrous one. But it doesn't do as good, so there you go. Now, the trick with these ones here is you can't unload them. They do just hold it all. You can't unload it while it's spinning. Well, I mean you can, but it causes it to stall. Well, not these ones, of course. So these ones are pretty easy to use. These are your basic ones there. You just let it spit out whatever it's doing. But these ones here, you have to slow them. Well, you don't have to slow them down. You can just spit it out, but it makes it rather unhappy, as we see. And some glorious audio. Damn. We're going to keep going. Oh, he's going to keep going. He's not going to stall. Okay, right. I was really disappointed when that one first happened there. I was expecting when that got to 100% that drum was going to come flying off and take me head clean off. There you go. They put something in Stationeers that actually doesn't explode. So that's it's a horrendous sound. It's an awesome bit of audio design. I just love the horrendous sound that comes out of that. It's not quite as good as the sonic boom of the rocket, I must say. That's probably my favourite bit of sound design there, but this one's very good. So once again, if you do try and dump out too much, it does eventually just stall and stop. Ah. Yeah. I turned it off. Wow. Horrible sound. Yeah, so then you're going to start it all again, and that takes a little while. So while it does chew out a lot, you can just flick out, well, you probably flick out the ores just one at a time, then wait for all the stress to drop down again and flick out another one. But, yeah, it does take a bit to get it started again. Of course, the nitrous one's even much more fun. Where I can't even spit out one rock out of that one without it going into shutdown. Oh, damn. I've switched it off. Be quiet. Oh, okay. Uh, that's, that's those things. They are pretty cool. I'd say this will just get you. You just set them up, and they will just shush. They will just forever churn out dirty stone. You don't have to move them. They will just keep going forever and ever. Now, to get the thing started, I'll shut everything down. It's a bit quieter now. Now, once again, it's electric ones. It's always the case you switch the thing on and it starts up just very slowly, ticking over, gradually builds up speed, and that's all there is to it. And with the other ones, it's not quite so simple because you have a stress gauge, you have a throttle, and you have a combustion. The throttle seems to be your maximum RPM, whereas that one sort of seems to be the power you have, the amount of stick you give it, like your cruise control and your accelerator, perhaps I guess you call it. To get it started, you just got to go slowly. So you just give it a bit of a stick, away it goes. If the stress builds up too far, don't rush it, or it will just go into a shutdown mode. So it is just slowly getting up to 40 RPM. Once again, this will eventually stabilise, and you can give it a bit more throttle. As it gets up there, give it a bit more stick, and away it goes. So it's 38, 39, 40. That'll eventually stabilise when you just give it a bit more throttle. Switch the light off, that's a bit better. Alright, it's up to 52, we're going back down again now. So we're good. Just give it a bit more stick, and it'll start going up again. No, it's still going down. Alright. It's happy, keep it going. You'll find the faster and faster you let it go, the revs will start to slow down, just sort of counting up one at a time. It'll eventually slow down, so you'll have to give it a bit more throttle. Still good. It's just a matter of being patient. Yep, stress is starting to go up and again now. Push a little bit too hard. Yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, going back down again now. And away we go. Oops. No, we're good. There we go, full speed. Now once again that'll just fill up with more rocks until we have to finish it with a horrible noise. Now you can shut it down. I suppose if you want to use it continuously you have to set up some sort of a process for slowing it down and emptying it and then starting it back up again. So you can do it quite easily manually. The one with the fuelless nitrous is a little bit more temperamental. You do have to go very slow, but you can do it manually, or you can run a program for it. But it's a lot faster. It's worth getting. Now, as far as the cost of them all, these sort of have been said as being a late game, but you know they are from the tier 2 printers, so you do have to update your printers first. So we have the deep miner. Now that one is that steel invar constant tense. There's no exotic materials in it. There's not even a lot. It's 30 steel, which is costs a bit, but it's only 5 invar and 5 constant tense. So it's not hard to make. You do need a tier 2 auto lathe to do it, but if you've got constant tan, you've got enough to update your printer there, so that's not really hard to do. We have the search centrifuge, combustion centrifuge. Now this one, once again, steel sheets, cables, nothing fancy in that one there, from the kit, which you've once again from the kit, sorry, there we go. It is steel invar constant tan. Steel 10, once again, no exotic materials. It is still pretty easy to build, once again from the auto lathe tier 2. So it's not costing you a lot of materials, so you can spam a crap ton of these and just have an infinite supply of ores coming in. Like it or not, that's the way that is. Now when it's all up and running, yep, get you going. So this one here is growing 500 watts to run each one of these. So it might be infinite resource, but it is not free. So if you've got 8 of them running off there like I have, that's 4 kilowatts. Plus the machine itself, which is running at, where are you? 50 watts. So it's not a lot of power on this thing, but it does require fuel as well. So that one, that setup there, you touch over 4 kilowatts to run all that. This one here I think was about 2.5 kilowatts. These centrifuges are 100 watts each, I think they are 100 watts. So to have that one going, 500 plus 3 of these, that's 800 watts to have all that running. That's just for one drill. Whereas for 3 times that you can get 5 drills. So yeah, it's worth upgrading to these ones here, although you do have to have fuel. Cool. Now, when these ones are running nitrous there, so the stuff it is putting it out. I mean, you can say, well, the silver's got nitrous in it, and the gold has oxygen in it. You can get it to fuel itself. It'll be a self-sustaining thing, but no. The ores that come out of here are now degassed, so there's no free running of these ones here. So, yep. No more free gas out of these ones here, because everything coming out of centrifuge. Apparently people were just running it all back into the centrifuge and getting unlimited gas. Who'd do such a thing? Can't do that anymore. But fortunately the biomass that comes out of these does still have gas in it, so you still can use your biofuels. Use the biomass to generate hydrogen on the planets that don't have any hydrogen. Otherwise that would be a really difficult situation to be in. So that's all okay. Now, so as I say, they're the really big things you got there. So the miners and the centrifuges, they've better be a bit of a change up there, and they're all pretty cool. Now, some of the other things we got there are the chutes, which I've got some set up. Right, here we go. Chutes. Now the chutes are now in a new kit. So when you print them, they don't fly all over the place. Now they do stack a little bit better. Now we have some new ones. They are the flip-flop splitter. Boop. We have the valve. Boop. And overflow. Boop. And the usual ones. Cool. Now, the flip-flop splitter. You used to have a just wanted to switch. It's got an inlet and 2 outlets there. It'll just switch between the 2 of them there. I mean, you used to grab a sorter and just put that into its default mode. It would just alternate between the 2 of them there to divide an incoming system between 2 slots, just to divide it up. You've now got a chute that'll do that for you. It doesn't require any power, no setup, just plug it in, away it goes. Also got a chute valve. This is pretty cool. It'd be great for maintenance there. So if I want to splice in something in here, I just want to join something in there. How am I going to do it? Well, you probably go something like this. Okay, ow, 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 ow. Quick, put in my new one. too late. But if you can now put in a chute valve, you can just shut it off. Oh, that's switching it on. You can close it off, do your maintenance, whatever you want, and shut it back in again without having to clean up a big pile of crap. But there you go. And it sounds like a little animated closing thing on it, which you won't be able to see once you've built it into the wall, I guess. But it's cool nonetheless. Now you can use that either as it is, just as a way of dumping out. If you've got a big hopper full of ore or something there, you just, I want to grab a few of them, and you just get buried in a crap load of them there. That one there. Now the overflow splitter. This is one. Is it called a chute overflow? This is one I really like. This one will send stuff straight through unless that's blocked. And if that's blocked, it will then start shooting it out the other way. Now, this is something that's been very good because I've had stuff, you get something goes wrong and something blocks your chutes there, and there's been no real way to unclog it and just wait for whatever's slowing it down to clear out, and then all the rest of them start going again. But now you've got this one here to automatically do it for you. Right. Right, so here's a setup I've sort of seen a lot of people do. Just have a heap of arc furnaces all set to ready fire whenever something comes into it, and they have a heap of sorters set up just to split it one to the other. Well, now you don't need the sorters because you've just got the flip-flop switches there. So if I go for the drop, so it goes through these two, it's drawn straight into this machine, and flip the two switches there to go to the other one. So the next one should head off down to this machine and flips them back. Next one, boop, flick that one, and ends up in that machine. And next one, flicks that one, and ends up in the farm machine over there, and it all starts again. But you sort of find as we go through, still have to do more. We sort of now got that one jammed there. There's something in there. That chute has still got nothing in it. And as we go on, now that one's jammed. If I grab some more. Now the whole system's jammed. So the flip-flop splitter works nicely there, and especially if you get something like gold comes into one of these, it takes longer than all the other ones to do it, you'll find it all starts to jam up. So that's where the overflow chute comes in pretty handy. We should set up one of those ones. Okay, well the next setup I've got here, you can use the overflow splitters. Now these ones are pretty cool. Now this one here, once again, it'll push it through. Now one thing I've noticed is don't push these things right up against the machine, because if the machine's full, that one doesn't register that the chute's actually blocked. So leave one there and it all works fine. But as I say, as we go, we drop one in, it goes straight into the machine. Not a problem. Next one goes in, it fills that one there, but yeah, that's what you've got to do. Next one goes in, realise it's blocked, and goes across into the next machine. Once again, it fills that last slot there, and then as we keep going, it realises that one's blocked and goes on to the next machine, and so on down the line. Now all of these ones now have something there waiting, and now the whole, as you keep going, of course the whole thing's going to back up. But now it doesn't matter what order these things take things out, it's always backed up, always ready to go. As that runs out, it'll just take the next one in and it'll start accepting more of them straight away. And so it doesn't matter if one of them's clogged up with a heap of gold, they will always be fed as much as they need. So that is a really handy little part of your logistics line there. So that's your overflow one. I've been using them once again for the Harveys. They're a nice way of filling that we used to do it with the just with the junction. The junction trick still does work, but this one actually looks like it's meant to work, so that one's pretty cool. So anything that comes out of the Harveys, you can just feed back in through the overflow chute and it will fill up all the Harveys there. So that's how I've been using those ones. That's pretty cool. Now we also have some powered ones as well. So we find in there we now have two new kits. We have the powered ones and the basic ones. So we have some powered ones as well, which I've got somewhere. We have, once again, the digital valve, and we have a flip-flop splitter. Now these ones, well, they require power and they can be operated by logic. Now this one here is just, once again, a valve, but it has a dial on it, so you can actually control how many items it'll get through each time you trigger it. It can be handy, well, I suppose, if you're dispensing ore. If you've got a mixture of heap of chutes that have got lots of ore in it, you can get it to like dispense 3 iron and 1 coal if you want to make steel or something like that. The flip-flop splitter, once again, it's got a dial to sort of say, you know, how many will go this way and how many will go that way. So you can set it as like either 1-to-1 where it will just split one to the other. We set it to 2-to-1, it'll allow 2 to go out straight and then 1 go the other way. So I'm not quite sure what you'd use that for, but someone's obviously asked for it, otherwise they wouldn't have put it in there. But they're pretty cool. So let's hook them up and have a go. Okay, let's see how we go. We've got it set up here. This is our digital valve. It's currently set to 0. I don't know what 0 will do. Okay, 0 doesn't stop anything at all. Okay, let's limit it to 1. Yeah, that's called pre-testing, so I know what I'm actually doing. Okay, so we'll try again. Okay, take 2. Now I've got it set to 1, so if I push that, okay, 1 comes out. Click the button, 1 comes out. Awesome. That's the way it's meant to be. If we set it to 2, we get 2 come out. Awesome. And 3, no guesses there. We get 3 come out. Excellent. Right, now the other one, which is the flip-flop splitter. Now we have a 1-to-1, so I'm guessing a 0-to-1 will just send it all straight through. So we'll set it as a 1-to-1. We should have 1 come out here, then it should flip. Very quickly, yes it does. And setting it to other things as a 2-to-1, I'm guessing we'll have a lot more. That happens very quickly. So these ones actually have the benefit there as they do operate very quickly, unlike the sorters, which were very slow. They were only sorting 1 thing through each game tick, but they were sort of checking what everything was. So unfortunately, I don't have a filter one out of these. So I'd love to be able to have one that you just put a hash code into, and then it filters everything for that one item. But yeah, it doesn't do that. So let's try it again. Right, here we go. So let's set it for 3-to-1, so I should have 3 come out straight for every one that goes up. That looks about right. Okay, so these ones here, now I don't really know why you do that, but you can. There's obviously somebody's got a good reason for it, but yeah, the reason for that one kind of eludes me a bit. But you can use it. As I say, it's there if you want. Digital valve, that'll be pretty, once again, for an automatic dispenser somewhere. I mean, you could just use a silo. Well, I suppose a silo or a vending machine are rather huge, where this is very compact, very low power, easy to use. So there's also been a heap of other changes and fixes along the way. So there's a lot of bug squashing as they're still working through the refactor there. You can't sort of reprogram an entire underlying functionality of a game without creating a few bugs there. So they're still working through them there. They're chewing them off as quick as you like. There has been a few other changes there, ones that sort of I don't really like. So gas fuel generator has been nerfed. So if I switch that on, I can only get like 20 kilowatts out of that one now. That's running on nitrous. So that's meant to be the most powerful one yet. But anyway, that's done there. I mean, a coal generator gets you 20 kilowatts, and all you got to do is plonk that on the ground. This one's difficult. You've got to have refrigeration, you've got to have a fuel system, you've got to have a controller for it. Um, but no, it's it's not much now. But anyway, it is what it is. These are really cool. The audio design in that is fantastic. It's horrendous noise, but I love it. I think that's it. There's probably a heap of other stuff there that I have completely forgotten about because there's so much there. Um, but that'll be it for me today. So have fun with the new toys. Uh, until next time, happy building. See ya.